We don't have an intro for this, do we? No. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlshaves.com. Today I want to talk about how to tell the difference between real life and texting. Well, how to tell the difference. I mean, I hope that you're aware enough of reality that you're like, I'm currently texting, this is real life. And I guess technically texting is happening in real life, but the question is, kind of like when you're watching a movie, you get sucked into the movie sometimes if it's a good movie. And then when something dramatic happens, something sad, something awesome, you get pumped up, right? Because you're really in it. You're seeing it from this perspective, right? Like you're watching this video and you get into it. But then all you have to do is do a quick little look around, right? And you're like, oh wait, I'm not in this thing. I'm just kind of observing it, but I feel like I'm inside of it. And that's what happens with texting is you are locked, especially if it's a girl that you like, you know, you're like, here. You're fucking paying attention to it. But what you kind of lose track of because you're busy focusing on how is she gonna respond, how am I gonna respond, is you forget that you have a box, right? And you're just, that's it. It's two-dimensional. So what are you missing from real life? Because obviously, a lot of you are fucking up because a lot of you are treating this like this, and they're not the same thing. And if you apply the rules of this to this, or you apply the rules of this to this, you're gonna fuck up. And that's what most people's problem is they're either cool in real life and they suck here, right? They can get a girl's number and she likes him, but then when it comes to texting, he fucks it up completely because the personality that he has over text is completely different than in real life. Or oppositely, especially with kind of nerdy guys, is they can be really good over here because they can see it technically as you should see it and see it from a like a literary perspective and a limited perspective. But you get them in person and they're fucking weird as shit. There's a lot of people who are good writers and they can write epic stories, like, not even texting, but writers, right? You can see some amazing writer who just crafts the most amazing worlds. And then you see him talk on stage, he's like, it's like, what the fuck? What happened with this super cool character that you wrote about? Like, you wrote one of the most badass characters in fantasy history and you're this fucking loser? There's a difference. There's these two different worlds. So we need to figure out what are the differences, and then knowing the differences, how to apply, how to use those to your advantage so that you can properly do texting. Because this is what this video is about, is how to text, not how to be good in real life. So what's the difference between texting and real life? So real life has 3D, 2D, 3D experience. I don't mean just length, width, and depth, right? I mean the full sensory experience, where you have sight, sound, smell, touch. There's a complete experience going on here. Whereas when you're just on the phone, physically it's 2D, but you're only having thought, right? Okay, let's call it the six senses. You're having thought and you're having visuals. Pretty much that's it, right? You're seeing something come up, an emoji or a text, and then you're interpreting it on the thought level. Then you have things like sarcasm and tone, right? Because sarcasm is pretty much like a tone, right? So a lot of times, sarcasm is that was my secret little retard language, okay. Sarcasm is working in real life because of the tone that you hear. Oh yeah, that's great, that was dope, sarcasm. But it doesn't work so much over here. Now you have text tone. Now text tone can be created with your syntax, the way you're structuring your sentence, your diction, your punctuation, and emojis, right? There's a lot of things that you can communicate literarily, but you're gonna have to use it differently because it's so much easier to be sarcastic in person. I just go, yeah, right. But on text, if I just say, yeah, right, I could literally just mean, yeah, right? But that might get it more clearly. That might communicate it more clearly, put 2 periods. right? Or I can separate them. Yeah, right. Or maybe I just change my wordage. LOL, I'm sure. That's sarcastic, right? But yeah, right, it can kind of go either way. So you have to adjust to text tone. You have to learn how to use textual language rather than spoken language because you're not dealing with normal tone. Okay? When you're texting, you have time on your hands, kind of. When you're in person, you have continuity. Imagine if real life was like a text message conversation. Hey, what's up? And the other person goes, 20 minutes later, hey, how are you? It would be kind of weird, right? But you have continuity in real life. Hey, what's up? You have like a half second to like not look weird. Oh, I'm good, how are you? Oh, I'm good, haven't seen you in a long time, yeah. And it's a pretty girl that you're really nervous around and you're like, fuck, what do I say? But over texting, you got time. You can sit there and think, all right, because it's not considered rude. It's considered rude to wait a day, but to wait a couple hours, it's not bad. Wait a day, kind of being an asshole. All right, then eventually you're a dick. But in real life, you gotta be going. So you have to treat it like a completely different method of communication in medium because you have completely different rules going on. And you can communicate things with that time. If someone's in person with you and you say, yeah, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm good, how are you? Oh, nice to see you. Okay, they're not interested, they're turning away, da-da-da-da. And that'll seem immediately rude in person, or maybe she's been kind of dodging you lately and not giving into your interest. So then by doing that, you get her to chase. You're like, oh, I'm not that interested. The same thing can happen over text, but now instead of just turning away and walking away, you wait 4 hours to respond. And then you give her kind of a boring response. Because last time you talked to her, you're texting her and you asked her out and it was like, oh, hey, I'm busy. Okay, cool. I'm gonna start playing the game back and I'm gonna start pushing back. So you have different methods of expression. That's basically what this is just saying, is you have to take this and you have to mirror it over here. Okay, now this one's huge. In real life, you have very clear persistence. Hey, we should go home together. Well, you're gonna say it much better than that, but basically you're just like, oh, hey, we should get out of here. I don't know, I gotta wake up early. Oh, come on, it's only 9 o'clock, whatever, it's not a big deal. Well, I gotta be up at 7, it's okay, I'll wake you up in the morning. Oh, really? Yeah, so am I spending the night? Da-da-da-da-da, right? There's a persistence, there's a play, there's a game going on. Over text, hey, do you wanna meet for coffee this week? No, I'm sorry, I'm too busy. Oh, come on, it'll be fun. I can guarantee you that very, very rarely works over text. Very rarely. Because you're missing the full experience. Over person, you can be charming. Oh, come on, it'll be fun. Over text, you can write it really masterfully, right? You can use the right emoji, the right tone, the right sentence structure, the right words, right pacing, right rhythm, and everything, and it still can come off like you're chasing because it looks annoying over text. Because over text, it's just very, oh, come on. Whereas in person, it's like, oh, come on, we're gonna have fun, I'll fuck your brains out. It'll be good. I'll give you a couple orgasms, we'll cook breakfast together. Yeah, it'll be fun. And I've done shit like that, and it works, right? But it's not gonna work over text. Hey, let's have a coffee this week. Oh, come on, we can get coffee, and then I can take you home and shove my dick in your ass. It's not gonna work out. But in person, you can definitely make it work out if you have the charm and you have the balls to do it because you're lacking that 3D expression. Last one, you can fake it. Or over text, you can fake it. In person, you can't fake it. They're seeing you right there. They're watching your facial expressions. They're watching your body language. They're watching everything that you're doing. Over text, because you have a limited experience, it's very easy to fake it. You can fake LOL, right? You type LOL. You're not really laughing out loud, Half the time, 90% of the time you write haha, LOL. Are you really laughing? I just respond to shit all the time with crying, laughing emojis. Like, that's when in doubt, crying, laughing emoji. That's one of my mottos. Just toot, toot, toot. If someone responds to my story and they're like, oh, it's funny, I'll just go, that's how I respond. But what else am I fucking supposed to say, right? I'm not faking it. I'm just saying fake it to kind of like exaggerating, maybe is a better way to put it. I'm obviously exaggerating responses. because I don't want to just ignore their message, right? I want to give them something. I'm not going to say, yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Because that's really weird to type. Like, yeah, it's funny. It's like, what? No, you mirror their emotion. It's kind of like in person. There is kind of a mirror of this in person. If someone laughs at a joke, maybe you don't think the joke is that funny, but because they're laughing and you kind of feel their humor, you go, yeah. Maybe you don't think it's the funniest thing in the world, but it's yeah. It's like a half LOL. It's a it's not an LOL, it's a l, right? But you give them that emotion. You give them that mirroring, and that, because communication is a mirror. It's a symmetry. It's a communication of likeness and similarity. Speaking of similarity, you should check out One Date in the description below, because we go over the fundamental nature of attraction, which is SAC, similarity, and that's 1/3 of attraction. And you'll learn more about that in the link below if you get One Date. So check it out in the link below. See that? I'm a salesman. Okay. So this is the basic reason why texting and real life differ from each other. Now, that's great to know, right? Cool story, Hector. But what do I do with this information? 1, stop treating real life like it's texting. Not everything that you say that can work in real life works over texting. And you're gonna have to figure out what that is, okay? Now you can sign up for coaching with me, or you can ask for me for advice on my Instagram, and especially with texting, show me screenshots. Screenshots, context. Context is huge. Now context is both important in real life and in texting. But it's especially important in texting because all you have is the context of the texts. In person, you have 1,000 different contexts. You have a context of the environment around you, their mood, your mood, right? But over text, she doesn't know what your mood is. She only knows her interpretation of your mood, because real life is personality number 1. Texting is personality number 2. You need to realize that who you are over text is a completely separate identity. Now, you would like to make them equal. But what I would say is make your real life and personality as attractive as possible, and do your best to make your texting personality match that or be even better. Because what can happen is, if you're really cool over person and you go to text and you're even more smooth over texting, you know how to respond in the right way, you don't show too much emotion, but you show enough, right? You use clear language so she understands what you're saying, doesn't get confused. Confusion is one of the worst things. Confusion is really easy to solve in real life. You can see that they misinterpreted something right away. Over text, if you send something and she misinterprets it, she might not even respond and you're fucked. And then if you double text to clarify, you're double fucked, right? So how do you deal with confusion? You avoid it by being clear. So you want to make sure that this personality is at least similar to this or even better, because one of the worst things that can happen is you're great in person and you suck over texting. Obviously, don't be the opposite where you're great over texting and you suck in person, because that's also shitty, because she's all wet and then she meets you and she's like, who the fuck is this loser? So you need to adapt 2 different or see them as 2 distinct personalities, but try to build a bridge between them. And then you need to learn how to transition from texting to real life, because as much time as you're going to put into mastering texting, and as much time as you're going to put into understanding the nuances of texting, in the end, you're fucking her in real life. Unfortunately, you don't have a VR electronic dick, and even if you do, and even if you have some special fucking thing on your eyes, and you have a special thing that sucks your dick for you in your virtual sex with her, no matter how sophisticated virtual sex gets, it's never going to replace actual fucking sex. This isn't Demolition Man, okay? You want to fuck her in the real pussy with your real dick. And if your real life sucks, or if you don't know how to, maybe you're great at getting I know tons of guys who are really great at having these conversations. Girls are enjoying their text conversation, they're laughing, or they're putting LOLs and they seem to be enjoying it. But you can't lead it to real life, doesn't matter. That's our goal, is sex. The proof is in the pussy. The proof is not in the emoji, the proof is in the pussy. Until you fuck her, I don't care how many nudes she's sending you, how excited she is to talk to you, how much she's texting you. If you don't fuck her, doesn't matter. Proof is in the pussy. So, learn the nature of texting, learn how to distinguish it from real life, and then learn how to lead texting to real life. And that means being attractive and cool over texting, but then learning how to turn it into a real life encounter, and you turn it into a logistical conversation where you say, enough is enough, we've talked enough. Let's grab a coffee this week. When are you free? Cool. See you Saturday, 7 p.m. at the Dick Cheese Studio Restaurant. I don't know what the fuck that is. and I'll meet you at the front. Cool, see you there, ciao. And then you meet her, and it's a date, because that's what matters, okay? Cool. All right, so texting is different than real life for the reasons just explained. Learn the art of texting, it's super important. It's one of the things most guys fucking suck at. But remember, if it doesn't go from here to here, it don't mean shit. Cool. This is Hector Castillo Poppy from girlschase.com. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please follow me on social media. Please check out One Date in the description below. If you want to sign up for private coaching, there's also a link in the description below. We got lots of stuff in our descriptions. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, as I said, and I'll see you very soon.